3 words that can save your life. So from my last video that I talked about, do you have 8 seconds? There was some feedback, and so I had a couple of women who asked me, these beautiful divine goddesses who asked me some very poignant questions related to it. So this is kind of a follow-up video, but it's a little bit different in that sense. So one of the things that these 2 women in particular said, the question was, what if you feel too much? There are many posts I must hide, things I can't watch on the telly because it hurts too much. And the other one had said, you know, I'm ultra sensitive and I know that I have these gifts because I'm ultra sensitive, but it makes it really hard to live and, you know, be around humans in that sense. And she often feels lonely. And people think that she's crazy and things of that nature. Well, here's the thing about that. It's you know, when you can hear people's thoughts, if you've ever seen the film What Women Want with Mel Gibson, it's a fabulous movie, fantastic film, and it's all about hearing people's thoughts. It's really more about that you pick up on their vibe, their vibration, their vibrational frequency. And so, you know, sometimes feeling people's vibes seems like a curse, but really it's actually a blessing. And here's why. The reason that it's a blessing is because of what I related in my last video, having to do with if you can utilize those perceived curses as a blessing, how can you help humanity? And then from that, it's also a blessing because it helps you to suss out people. So one of the things that I'll share with you is that, you know, on the path of my twin soul, you know, there was a point about 6 years ago where I had said, as I have recently, that I'm opening up to another divine masculine who's going to come into my life and have a physical union, because my twin soul is not into that physical union. He's on his own path and whatnot. And so, you know, when I did that 6 years ago, all these divine masculine men were just coming because they were seeing my light, yeah? And so I thought, right, this is a curse, you know, but I was able to suss out their vibes, and I could see who was a vibrational match and who wasn't a vibrational match. So it became really easy for me to suss those energies out and say, right, no, thank you, you know, I can be friends with you, but, you know, we're just not a vibrational match. So it's actually a blessing. You know, when you can utilize it for your soul purpose, but then also utilize it as a means of, you know, seeing what's a vibrational match for you and what isn't. And that's okay, because then if you keep your vibration in that shining light, divine goddesses, and shining light, divine masculine gods, you know, your vibe attracts your tribe. And, you know, as a highly sensitive person and as an empath, it may be hard to be around humans, if you will. However, you know, Buddha didn't just sit under the Bodhi tree, you know, and become enlightened and stay enlightened. No, he went out amongst the people. The master is the one who can actually be in that same vibration. Now, does that mean that, you know, you want to watch the telly all the time with the harmful things, you know, that like this other woman was saying? No, you know, choose what vibration feels good to you in that sense. And it's not about, you know, putting that away in the sense of, oh, I'm not feeling if, you know, I don't watch those things, or, you know, I don't read those posts or whatnot. You can choose what vibration you wish to resonate in, and that's all right. However, you want to be able to have a balance. And so there's something else, you know, that's a key to all of this, which is what I really want to share with you. So I call it the story of the potatoes. So many years ago, and I've done this off and on in my satsangs before, I would have sacks of potatoes, and usually, you know, wee ones or what have you. And so I would have people come in with a sack, and everything that they were holding onto, and they had to put a potato in the sack, okay? And then for the next somewhere between 3 weeks to a month, they had to carry it around with them everywhere, whether they went to the loo, to work, walking, shopping, going to the shops, you know, wherever they went, out with their friends, it didn't matter. It had to come with them. And it's a metaphor because after a wee while, it starts to smell, and so I had everybody bring their potatoes back in, and it kind of reeks. It's quite mingy. And so what it is that that's the energy of what you're holding onto and what you're carrying around with you, in emotions, in thought processes, everything. And one of the other things we did as a humanity is back in the times of Egypt. In the Egyptian times, what did we do? We entombed the pharaoh and the higher up priestesses and priests and whatnot with things in their sarcophagus, gold, jewels, all these different things and what have you. And when they get on the other side of the veil, back with source energy, they don't have it with them. And so we as Egyptians kind of learned that lesson, or remembered that soul remembering of, you can't take it with you when you go. So there are some things that we do for the sake of stability and security, and we think that this keeps us, safe, if you will. And the thing is that we miss out on the magic of the universe. We miss out on the adventure of life. Like this woman, she's saying, there's certain posts, or I have to hide from humanity. This other woman said, basically, you miss out on the adventure of life and the awe and the wonder of it all. So do you ever notice, I talked about, being a child, feeling of tantrum full out in the last video. So do you ever notice what happens? What did I say in that video? 5 minutes later, they're all playing. They're all happy and everything else. And so do you ever notice a child who perhaps when you were once as a child as well, or if you've noticed a child, they go out and they play and they're freely feeling happy, adventuring in the playfulness and the awe and the wonder and the magic of life. And they're imagining things and they're playing and creating different worlds, and they have no cares and no worries. They're just being secure within source energy, within the infinite consciousness, within infinite possibilities, and they're just exploring in the enchantment and the magic of the universe. And do you ever notice that that child is free from holding on to stuff? They're not holding on to their emotions about what happened 5 minutes ago, that they were angry and had that tantrum. They're not holding on to, what happened a month ago. They're not holding on to the image that's on the telly, or the posts on Facebook or social media that, they haven't seen or they've seen. They've let go. So holding on to things, if you look at what you're experiencing of those emotions, the emotions themselves are just emotions. The posts are just posts. There are people out there who are hungry, they're starving, they're homeless. I know. I've been through those type of things myself, okay? And that's never going to take that away, okay? Those things are still a part of life. But what are you holding on to? Are you holding on to that anger, that hurt, that pain, and missing out on life, the joy and awe, the wonder of that inner child that you are, that inner soul child? So, the emotion itself, if you take a look at the emotion, if you take a look at fear, or you take a look at grief, or you take a look at anger, or you take a look at pain, you take a look at any emotion, it's energy and motion propelling you forward. And when you do that, if you look at the emotion itself, it's just the emotion. It's just fear. It's just doubt. It's just worry. It's just anxiety. It's our resistance to, I wish I could replace it with something better. I wish that I wasn't feeling that way. It shouldn't be happening this way. It's meant to be another way. That's where our suffering is. The holding on to those emotions and perpetuating that cycle and that circle, rather than as the child just feeling it full out and letting it go. So what are those 3 words that I said that can save your life? Surrender. Let go. I will say it again. Surrender. Let go. Another way of saying it is, this too shall pass. Okay? All the things that we hold on to, whether it's people, things, situations, circumstances, thoughts, feelings, emotions, Things that are all and about an attempt to try to become secure and safe. But none of that's secure or safe. Holding on to something isn't secure and safe. When you release that feeling, that emotion, when you release that need for security and dragging all those potatoes with you, of those thought processes, about those different things on the telly, or the feelings of pain and whatnot, you just feel it, experience it, and then let it go. And you surrender to Source. You surrender to the infinite consciousness, and you say, you know what? I can no longer do this. I can't take it all upon me to help the hungry, or to help the animals being killed, or all those horrible posts that I'm seeing, on Facebook of people hurting. It's not up to just me. I can't do it alone. Source, show me. I'm here, listening. Show me how I can utilize that as a catalyst, as I said in my other video, for your soul purpose. Only then will you feel insecure or secure within, yeah? The only security within insecurity is the security within Source, within our own soul. When we are in that space of stability, then we arise to infinite consciousness, and we rise to that inspiration that I spoke of in the last video. So surrender, let go. This too shall pass. The emotion will not be with you forever. And if it is with you forever and you're still feeling it all the time, it's because you're holding on to it. And you're being asked again to surrender. Let go. Surrender is just the relaxation into your soul song. Singing who you really are as a soul. Surrendering into Source. Surrendering, relaxing into the arms of Source and in the arms of love, and allowing that to guide you as your essence in life, allowing Source's vision to guide you. Because as the Egyptians found out, as we as Egyptians found out, you can't take it with you when you go. The only thing that you can take with you when you go is the love from the heart and the soul. Espada. Namaste. I love you.